Climate in 2 minutes. In this episode, we will talk about how sufficient and proper knowledge capacity development is an essential factor in the ever more urgent global fight against climate change. As climate change is a complex issue, having enough knowledge on the science, issues, and risks, as well as appropriate capacity to address the issue of climate change are critical components to building climate resilient communities and ecosystems. Sound policy decisions also rely heavily on the basic science as to the causes and impacts of climate change. However, in the recently released International Public Opinion on Climate Change 2022, despite a relatively big number of Filipinos who know about climate change and believe that it is presently happening, from 9 out of 10, only 3 out of 10 Filipinos have expressed that they have direct access to any information on this topic. Thus, the NCCAP on Knowledge and Capacity Development highlights the need for strategic knowledge and capacity building be mainstream and enhanced to communicate the science and bring current realities down to the grassroots. And this is possible by addressing the following issues. 1. Having access to relevant information and localizing it from the Philippine perspective. There are a lot of scientific information about climate change at the global level, but climate change impacts vary from one place to another. Hence, resources should be allocated to acquire and access the data needed to come up with localized researches on the science and impact of climate change. 2. Creating a good data management and reporting system. A good system for managing data information would maximize time and resources for conducting research and data gathering. It would enable us to see what data is there and what data needs to be gathered. 3. Disseminating relevant information. Developing communication materials is an important tool to increase public awareness about climate change. It is also important to consider who the target audience is and what type of materials are suitable to them. Beyond strategic knowledge, the NCCAP strategy also emphasizes the need to invest in fundamental capacities to manage and deliver climate change-related services and invest in communities to create innovative state-citizen partnerships towards effective adaptation and mitigation, including gendered climate change knowledge management established and accessible to all sectors at all levels. Only by strengthening the strategy on nurturing knowledge and capacity development will truly lead to sustainability and the institutionalization of information and knowledge about climate change adaptation. More importantly, sound knowledge regarding this phenomenon helps people to understand and tackle the consequences of climate change warming, encourages people to change their behavior, and helps them to adapt to what is already a global emergency. And that's the wrap for this episode of Climate in 2 Minutes. See you in the next episode!